Hi everybody, welcome back to my War Games hobby channel. I'm at the club tonight, it's Friday night, normal club night. Let me show you around. Right, so as you can see, it's not a massively busy night tonight. We're still obviously, a lot of people are still staying away, they don't want to play. We haven't got things going yet really, but we got one, a game or two, another game or two over there. Oh, this is a game of Napoleonic warships. We've got a game of Saga going on over here with Graham and Andy, and they're playing Crusaders.
Numidians.
Oh, sorry, Numidians and
Carthaginians.
Carthaginians. Ooh, nice one. So that's a nice Saga game, which Graham's recording and we'll be putting on YouTube later.
Thank you very much, Alex.
Okay, Graham. Then we've got a game over here of Line Rampant. Yes, I should know that. And it's Crusaders against Saracens. Yeah, they're my sheets, aren't they? So I should know what you're doing. So this is another game of Line Rampant, but to the Crusader States book, which I forgot to bring tonight. I'm sorry, I think Neil asked me to bring it, but it's a really good, fun game. I do like Line Rampant a lot. We've had a couple of games recently, and they are good fun. And we've got a game over here with Gamer Dom and John. And Gamer Dom, what are you doing tonight, guys?
I'm doing, what are we doing? General D'Armée.
Oh, right.
On Napoleonics.
Oh, cool.
First
Oh,
attempt.
big battles in. Makes a change from skirmishing, doesn't it? Well, have a good game. I won't disturb you anymore.
No, we're trying to work out how it plays.
Oh, right. Okay. Then we've got a game over here. This is a big game. 6 people in this game. A big ancient. These are the club rules they use for this. And as you can see, a lot of 15mm figures on the table. That looks superb. And then come over to here. This is my game. It's only a small game because we're playing muskets and tomahawks, but we're using the Shakos and Bayonets supplement. So you'll notice we've got some French over here. There's some French lancers, some French line infantry, and some French voltigeurs in the wood. And on my side, I'm playing the Austrians. We've got some UHLANS, a couple of big units of Austrian infantry, and some skirmishers in the woods. The reason it's not much terrain being used today, and we're not using a huge amount of figures, although it comes to about 600 points. It's not a bad size. But Dave's not played the rules before, so I'm giving him a bit of a run through, and we're going to keep it simple. But what I'll do is I'll report back on this game a little bit later on, and so you can see how it all works. Right, speak to you later. Right, a little update on this first move that I'm playing this game with Dave. You can see what's happening here. I'm moving forward. I decided to move my light infantry out of the wood, and they're coming round this side of the battlefield because firing into an enemy in a wood, I don't think Dave's going to come out that wood somehow. I'm not going to get anywhere with that, so I've decided to move my light infantry to the right. This big unit of infantry moved up, and they were able to do volley fire on the unit on the hill here. And Dave lost 4 men, did a poor morale test, had to fall back, he was shaken, but on his turn he's managed to come back. Now he's swung his other troops around, he's going to do volley fire on me in a minute, because volley fire in the rules can be quite effective. You'll notice over here there's a smoke down, because the light infantry in their wood did fire at long range at my unit here, this unit here, and they did take a casualty. But I rolled a good morale test, and they're fine. The cavalry over here, the French lancers, have moved up, but we're both being very cagey because we don't want to be the one that's being charged, because there's a big bonus if you charge in your move with a lance, so we're being quite cautious over there. So, so far the Austrians have lost 1 figure, the French have lost 4. But no doubt in a minute Dave's going to get his own back with volley fire on my troops. Right, so we'll do the next moves and I'll come back, report back what's happening. Okay, a little update. There's a massive firefight going on in here. in this area here, you'll notice that the skirmishers have fallen back here because they got volley fire from this unit and they don't get any advantage being in the wood. They lost a man each and their morale meant they had to fall back. One unit is fleeing, the other one's just fallen back shaken. Over here, this unit fired and this unit fired here and caused casualties on me, but they're still there okay. I brought these skirmishers round here and they've opened fire over here, causing a casualty. Or did I? Did I miss? I can't remember now. I think I didn't. I don't think I did any damage. I think I got some hits on you, but then they didn't damage anyone, did they? But the big thing is there's been a big cavalry melee here. The French Lancers managed to charge the UHLANS. The UHLANS initially lost 2, the French lost 3, surprisingly. Although they hit first, and I only respond after losses. But I managed to kill more of him than he did of me. And then when we did test, I was fine and he had to fall back. Then the next move, I've charged in again, and I've killed another 2, and he's killed another 1 of mine. But we've now both fallen back because we both managed to survive the morale test. And I've had to withdraw because that's the attacker. We can't stay in combat for another move. So it's a bit of a standoff. The UHLANS had the better of those 2 melees. So the position is there's a strong French line infantry here that have only taken a few casualties so far, well 4. My big unit in the middle here has taken 6 casualties now, so they've been hit hard. The skirmishers have had no casualties, whereas the French skirmishers have lost 1 each. So totally at the moment it's 6 infantry and 5 cavalry losses for the French, and 6 infantry and 3 cavalry losses for the Austrians. And I think it's the French go.
Yeah.
Right, so I'll report that later when we've got something else to tell you about. Right, an interesting thing to tell you here. We've had a massive cavalry fight over here where we've been going to and fro, and we've been steadily losing men. In the last bound, although I had 5 UHLANS here and there were 3 French Lancers, they've decided to charge him in anyway because he gets the first attack. But in fact, he didn't kill any of mine at all, and I didn't kill any back. So we just stood there. But of course, being the defender, I have to do the reaction test first. And of course, I did a terrible dice roll, and I fled from the fight, 5 Lancers or 5 UHLANS. And then if you do flee from a fight, of course, you have to roll to see whether any more men go off. And on a roll of 0, 1, 2, and 3, more men go off, and I rolled 4. So although I didn't lose any in the actual combat, by fleeing, I had to lose 4 more men. And I've only got 1 man left in that unit now who is fleeing, so I'm not sure he's going to do anything in this game. I've now brought my infantry, my light infantry around here to hopefully shoot him if I get a chance very, very soon. So the cavalry, although I ended up killing more than him, my fleeing has been a bit of a disaster. There we are, that's how it goes in a game sometimes. So Dave is quite happy at the moment, having won that cavalry melee. Okay, another quick update. A few things have happened. The first one is that my unit of 6 that were here got open fire from volley fire, and they only lost 1 man, but they rolled bad morale and they're now fleeing. So they've turned their back, they finally run away. They've been taking a lot of punishment. They're now down to just 5 survivors, so they're fleeing at the moment. The good news from the Austrians' point of view is that the light infantry that came up onto this hill opened fire on the 3 cavalry that were here, and they got 2 kills, and then unfortunately the survivor rolled a 1 on his morale dice, and of course he's had to rout. So the French cavalry have all disappeared. The French Lancers, all 8 have gone off the table, which is 5 bonus points for me. We're playing the game where every single figure is a point, and if a whole unit goes, it's another 5 points. We've also got some withdrawal tokens on the table, and if a unit gets near there, they can withdraw and get another 5 points. But I don't think that's going to happen. We're just having a bit of a firefight, which in fact the French infantry are winning because they've only lost 6 men total. 4 line and 2 skirmishers. But the Austrians, although I've lost no skirmishers at all, they've lost 11 of the unit that were here. That was 16, so we're slightly down. So at the moment it's pretty evenly matched. The fact that I've wiped out that Lancer unit makes it quite close. In fact, if you look at the points, I think that, oh actually, looking at the points, I think I'm 1 up at the moment. So very close indeed. I say that's not in the rules, we just decided we would do that tonight because this is a learning game. So it's turning out to be a very close game indeed. But you can see over here, these units are all unloaded, they're reloading. I've got 1 more fire marker on here, and my light infantry are out of ammo here now. So yeah, it's interesting. And I think it's the French turn. So I'll report back later. Okay, a quick update. The main thing that's happened is the infantry here have turned, did volley fire up here, managed to get 3 casualties, but they did a good morale test, so they're fine. So at the moment the Austrians have caused slightly more casualties than the French. But over here, I don't know whether you can see, I'll just move the camera around. We've got the skirmishers have decided to come out in the wood and come around here to get on the flank of these. The other skirmishers are still back in the wood here. They've decided not to do anything. He was a bit worried about my volley fire, but so they turned and fired over here instead. And my skirmishers up on this hill over here, these fired and are reloading. Didn't cause any casualties, but did cause them to become shaken. And these are now loaded and ready to go, so they're going to, in a minute, hopefully come around here. So we're on the 3rd session at the moment. And I would say slightly advantage to, well, I've lost 7 cavalry and the French have lost 8. I get a bonus because the whole unit's gone. I've lost 11 infantry and the French have lost 10. So in terms of figures we're identical, but because he's lost an entire unit of cavalry, I'm 5 points up, which seems a bit mean, but there we go. That's what we decided on before the game started. I've got a lone cavalry figure left over here. There you go, see him? He's obviously not going to do anything now. I'm just keeping him well out of the way, because otherwise he'll just die horribly. So there we go. We'll get another move done and I'll report back later. Okay guys, we finished the game. It was a draw, believe it or not. The reason is, although I lost 5 more figures than the French, we had this agreement that if you get rid of a whole unit, that's an extra 5 bonus points. And I managed to kill all 8 of his lancers. So I was a bit jammy in claiming the fact that I got a draw out of it, but that's how it goes. Massive firefight in the middle here was shooting. Skirmishers were coming round my flank. But as I say, I think if the game had gone on, I do think that the Austrians would start to have taken more casualties here. But these skirmishers are in a good position. But whether it would have been enough to win the game or not, I don't know. But a draw is an absolutely fair result. So, well done. Nice game. I'll don't know when we're going to do another one, but when we do, I'll record it as well. Right, stay safe.